This is Stock Day. News and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on the OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
This afternoon, I'm really excited to have our next guest on. His name is Larry Reaugh. He is the CEO of American Manganese. They are currently on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol AMY. And what American Manganese is in the process of doing, they focus on the production of the electronic manganese for the steel industry and rechargeable battery market. Good afternoon, Larry. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming on the show. So let me ask you a question. What was the investment to develop the patent, and which countries is this patent in?
Okay, that patent is for producing manganese metals out of very low-grade deposits in the U.S., and our cost to pilot test that and everything else and have it verified was between $3 and $4 million. It's patented in the U.S., China, and South Africa.
Exciting. So tell my listeners a little bit about what the process is, what's the usage, and how big this market is.
Okay, I just want to redirect a little bit because we're focusing now on recycling lithium-ion batteries, and because the Cametco, which is our research company that's under contract, has given us a compelling white paper on our ability to actually recycle these batteries and reclaim the cathode material, which is lithium, nickel, manganese, and cobalt. And as you know, lithium and cobalt are in the news quite a bit these days because there's a potential shortage of supply.
Exactly. That's what I heard. And I think you guys are in a very, very sweet spot in this part of the industry.
Well, it's certainly looking around as a mining company, spending the money was fortunate for us, having a partner like Cametco that has some brilliant scientists in it, and recognizing, what this patent could be, or this process could be utilized in, and recycling of batteries has been a big boom for us, and we think that this is going to be a tremendous year for us.
Can you take us through the process of this recycling, the lithium ion batteries? And how do you guys can monetize that?
Okay, we're looking at actually working only on electric vehicle batteries, which there's going to be a prolific amount of those coming free here over the next several years. The spent batteries will be returning to the market, and the process is well-known technology for actually shredding the battery. We have a technology for actually taking it's a chemical technology for removing the cathode material, which I like to talk about as being the lithium, nickel, manganese, cobalt, and reducing it into a solution, and then putting it through our process in order to produce the powders. And Cametco basically has stated that we should be able to get 100% recovery of all the cathode material, and we should be able to get it in a form that could be sold back to the battery company after it's recharged in the formula that they originally had on it. So it would be a pre-mixed material. So we're pretty excited about this. When you look at the fact that we could take a very low-grade ore, get high percentages of recovery, and you can imagine there's a lot of other material in that ore, like iron and a little bit of copper and zinc and those types of materials that have to be stripped out. Whereas in cathode material, you're just dealing with the powder itself. So, after our proof of concept, which we are very optimistic will prove out our theory, we're just dealing with the powders alone without any contamination.
You bring up a very good point. The process of this that you guys are doing it, would it be green and would it meet environmental standards?
It's a very green process. We actually did a feasibility study before the price of manganese went down the tube, and it's water efficient. There's nothing that goes back into the atmosphere. There's nothing that goes back into the environment except for a dry tailings, and that was for the processing of ore. When we're talking about processing of batteries, a lot less water is required. It could be recycled, and we're looking at very little introduction into the environment of contaminants, and if actually zero. So it's environmentally friendly and it's very green.
Larry, are you allowed to tell any of my listeners about projections of 2016 of your revenues?
Well, we are not in a producing state yet. We're in reality, we're looking at raising some money in here. We're talking to some very significant groups about this. The market has been a detriment to moving ahead with the financing, but the groups we're undergoing due diligence, and I think we're going to attract either a major partner or a major financing, and have the ability to move this ahead. If you want to look at what projections are, we project that these recycling plants can go anywhere in North America, South America, Mexico, China, Europe, and the formula for that may just be simply a licensing agreement, retaining a percentage of the profits.
So you're saying that there's a possibility that you guys can just license out the technology?
Yes, for certain areas. We wouldn't license it, to just one group. We would license it to eventually like a franchise.
I see. Very, very good. My guest today has been Larry Reaugh. He's the CEO of American Manganese. They're on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol AMY. Larry, it's been great catching up with you and your company. It sounds like you guys have a lot of exciting things going over there. We'd like to touch bases with you in about 30 to 90 days and find out how things are going with you guys.
No, that'd be terrific. And can I just have one closing remark?
Absolutely.
I can't emphasize enough the concern about the shortage for lithium and cobalt. And nobody's looked down the ladder. They're looking at deposits to be developed, which take years and years and years of environmental studies and everything to get into production. Whereas this recycling, I think the time would be cut down to about 25% of that. And we have the ability to supply, back to the system, and a very green product that will not end up in a landfill.
Outstanding. Larry, again, thank you for coming on the show, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.